All right, guys. Okay, so what I'm doing today is I had a few people apply for a biz audit. Now, I'm going to be going over Ivy Bella photography. So the thing about a business audit is it can be really, really hard to do in just one small way because there's so many things we're looking at in our businesses, right? So one of the things that she told me is, she's really struggling to book more clients. That's what I keep hearing from a lot of people. I'm having trouble booking more. I'm having trouble getting more clients in the door. I'm having trouble with people disappearing after I share my prices, stuff like that. So there's so many things to look at in our businesses and there's so many moving pieces. So it's really hard to do like a mini business audit. But what I wanted to do with this is at least look at one area in each of, these individuals' businesses where I can show you like, here are some tweaks you can make, adjustments, things you can change. While it may not be the only factor or the only thing you need to change in your business, it absolutely will not be, because you have to look at a lot, like your communication, your email templates, how you're talking to people, your websites, your copywriting. You have to look at your marketing. I mean, there's so many things you have to look at, but I just want to focus on one little area. So for her today, what I'm going to be looking at specifically is just her website. So I know that there are other things she could improve and change in her business that would probably help her booking rate. But for this video, sorry, this is so long for me to explain. We are just going to be looking at her website. Okay, so I went through this yesterday. I meant to sit down and make notes so I don't forget anything, but you know what? I didn't. So we're just going to kind of wing it, and I'm going to go through here. These are all things that I'm going to be going over in my business course for photographers. So if you have not hopped on board, doors close tomorrow. You should definitely do that. But here, let me give you like a little mini preview of what it's like to have me audit your website or to go over websites, which is one thing that we talk a lot about because they're so important. Okay, so my first thing here, I do like that she has this scrolling navigation bar. If you notice when I scroll down, that navigation bar is still there. That is great. You want to do that because you don't want to have to make people have to scroll all the way back to the top of your website in order to use that navigation bar. However, a huge issue with this navigation bar is I can barely read it. I can barely see it. It's transparent as you scroll down, so that bar goes away. But these two light colors together are not popping out. So either you need to change the background of the bar or you need to change the color of, your words here. Another thing about the navigation bar is this order makes absolutely no sense to me. I have no idea why contact and blog are here. They should be on this side. And if you can, depending on your website designer or who you use, if you can make the contact stand out with like a button or something or a different color, you should absolutely do it. Contact should always be over here in the right-hand corner. I would move the about me over here, so it should be home, about, portfolio, blog, contact. So another thing is she has about me and then she has info. You could really just do about and then kind of put all that in the drop-down menu. That's not really a huge deal though. You definitely don't have to do that, especially if you wanted to make it even with like 3 and 3. Overall though, contact, blog, portfolio, info, about me, great use of titles. A lot of times people want to be creative, and that actually is going to hurt your business, not help, because you want to be very, very clear about the directives and exactly, what people are getting if they click on things. Another thing I'll tell you is I noticed right away when I came on here that your site says not secure, which means you have not taken the time to switch over to that HTTPS. You still have the HTTP. without getting into a bunch of technical stuff, this will hurt your search engine optimization. You absolutely must make sure your website is secure if you want it to be indexed by Google and easily searchable and things like that. So this is a problem. I assume you use Squarespace because you haven't switched the favicon up here, which also this should be custom. You should be making a favicon and putting one there that goes with your logo. It's super easy to do in Squarespace. Just Google how to do it. Okay. Moving on. You have absolutely beautiful images. I mean, this is great photography. I love your photography. So I don't think it's that you don't have great talent and great work that you're not booking. Your issue is, like I said, it could be a lot of things. Could be the communication, the emails, could be your marketing tactics, things like that. But I will tell you, your website is definitely doing you a disservice. Great images, but that's kind of where it ends. So this is great. Thank you so much for making sure you have where you are located and contact information in the footer. So this is all great. I think it's great to have the contact form on the homepage. A lot of people do that. But here's the issue. There's great images, but there's no text on this homepage. There's no information. There's no text. So there is a specific formula I have in a layout for the homepage where, I show my students exactly how to set up a homepage and what order to put things in. But you definitely need to have way more text, way more going on in that front page, testimonials, call to action buttons, a photo of you. There's a good order in which to do all that, but you have nothing here, which makes it harder to find you as far as search engine optimization. And also, the more text you have on that homepage, the more, higher ranking you're going to get in places like Google, but the more people can learn right away. This is, not really drawing me in. I have no idea. Like, there's, a lot of, when you look at sales pages and websites, and website design, they'll call the initial part of a website, it's called the hero banner or hero image or hero message, where you'll get that nice big image up top, and then you'll have some text, and that needs to draw people in. That's kind of your little hook, right? That gets them to keep scrolling. And then you need some more text that really elaborates on that down here. The other thing I noticed right away was this: feel free to text or call, and then a note kind of about your other job and your hours. I totally understand that you want to make people aware of here's kind of my availability or when I'll get back to you, but I think that there is a much more professional way to do this. I think it's really unprofessional when people do text messages for business. It doesn't set up a high luxury experience, okay? It doesn't set up the feeling of a higher end experience. And maybe your prices aren't there, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. There's something weird to me about the whole texting thing, and I think that when you're just texting back and forth with people, it's okay to do, maybe if you need to with some clients or after people have booked or after other things. But initially when people are inquiring with you and you're trying to get them to book, what I would do instead is just say, hey, please fill out this contact form or email me directly and put your email in here. Here's also my phone number. If I miss your call, please leave a message, or please leave your phone number in here so that I can call you directly. I do my best to return messages within 24 to 48 hours or something like that. Just a little bit more general, just so that, you don't really need to explain all this. You don't need to tell people that much. So sorry, I've been really stuck on this front page. The other thing I noticed is it scrolls down for the contact, and I don't think it's bad that you have the contact on your home page, but I think you should also have a contact page, and I'm not sure why it's not sending me somewhere else. It's just sending me back to the home page. So your blog, this is not a lot of text. Each blog post should have a minimum of 300 words. And I know that is insane. It's a lot. It's overkill. It's overwhelming. Not even all mine have that. So trust me, I promise you, I'm not judging. But you have, great, great photos, but not a lot of text. Again, I realize that it's hard to come up with things to talk about and say. So I have a little trick where I have really beefed up my questionnaires and things that I have my clients fill out so that I can pull from those to help me write the blog posts and make them more unique for each of my clients. So that helps me a ton as far as when it comes time to write those. Another thing, you can be answering common questions from clients. There's so many different blog post topics that you could just be inserting with specific sessions that don't necessarily have to be completely related. It can be like 5 ways to prepare for your senior session with me. And then, here's so-and-so session. Does that make sense? That's like my favorite thing to say, and I say it even if no one is on the other end of whatever I'm saying. Like right now I'm talking to myself on this computer. Okay, anyways. Again, great, beautiful photos, nice big portfolios, but no text. So on each of your services page, I highly encourage you to have text talking about your services, explaining what you do, bringing your ideal clients really into the story. Copywriting is so important on your website, and it's something that a lot of people are missing. So I go to this and I'm thinking about hiring you for a newborn session. I see great photos, but I have no idea what to expect. I don't know. So it looks like this is a studio. Does that mean you have a studio? It looks like maybe these are at home. Does that mean you also come to my home? Or do you only do studio? Are these people's houses? There's some outside. What should I expect? What are these like? What am I going to feel? Like, I need more. And that's kind of how, I'm not going to show you every portfolio page, but I looked through and that was how they all were to my understanding, if I remember correctly. Again, there's nothing here that's selling me on the service. Even if I like these pages, I don't get a sense of who you are, and I don't get a sense of who it is that you're trying to work with. So we really need to bring our customers into the story here and speak to them and have copywriting that makes them go like, oh my gosh, she gets me. She understands me. I'm exactly who she is looking to work with. So there's no text there that's bringing me into that story. So we've got a cute picture of your family, but I want to see also a picture of just you. This, up here, I want to see a picture of just you, a nice professional image of just yourself. You can still have stuff about your family. But it's not enough. I think you should have more than one image. You can also have some personal stuff on here, but this is, pretty typical About Me page. It's you're not standing out. And again, another trick for the About Me page, that mistake that people make is that they think it's all about them, and really your About Me page is a place where you want to write about your ideal client and again draw them into your story and connect with them and sell them on who your ideal client is. And you really need to have some copy here talking more about them and stuff like that. This whole what's in my camera bag, I don't know if anyone has ever actually asked you that, but this is nothing I think people need to know. It's just more words. And you don't need to tell people what's in your bag. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that. Okay, moving on. And I swear I am not trying to sound super cutthroat and hard. I just, I fully believe that people cannot grow and build a business unless you have, somebody who's really going to give it to you straight and help you out. So my goal is really to help people to make things better. So this is, not to be harsh, but to help. So I hope that everyone understands that. Okay. How it works. So you have like a little blurb here. So you could, I think it's, this is where you have a lot of that text. But here's the thing. how it works. There's ways you can bullet this, whether you're like, working with me in 4 steps, whether you use bullet points, whether you number it. You can break this down so that it's easier for people to read. Because here's the thing, someone looks at this and it's just a lot of text and it's a lot of words, and you want to make it skimmable, not scammable, scannable, and easier for people to really get through quickly and to understand. So what's all included in your session fees? Again, I would use like bullet points and list this a little bit better. Also, please contact me for current pricing. I live in the camp of don't list your pricing on your website, so I think that's fine. However, I do think it's good to say pricing starts at, or, most clients choose to invest between X amount and X amount. Got to give people a range, a starting point, or some kind of a range here. Some of this, I don't feel like you really need to go so deep into. You can really condense a little bit of this, and you could really improve how easy it is to get through this. Another thing here. So one of the most popular pages on your website is going to be your pricing page. So the home page, the about page, and the pricing page are typically the most visited pages on a photography website. There's no photos, there's no call to action buttons, there's no testimonials. I don't want to scroll back up. If I get down here, I want to see a button that says, hey, yes, I'd love to hear more about the pricing. Show me a button that leads me to the contact page. Show me a button that leads me, to something else, to learn more about me, to your about me page. I don't see any testimonials on your site anywhere. Those should be everywhere. And I don't see a lot of call to action buttons. And there's no images on here. So again, it's like a little bit bland. Newborn prep guide. Totally fine to give your clients, but I don't think you need it on your website. If you want it on your website to make it easier for you, just make it an unlisted, unlinked page, and then you can send that to your clients after they book. But it's like, this is all just newborn sessions. I know it says session information on the URL, but I don't see information for any other type of session. Frequently asked questions, that's fine. But again, no call to action buttons, no images, nothing really drawing me in. And then book a session and it brings me to a calendar maybe. I don't know. This could be my internet, but this isn't working for me right now. I'm not sure what's happening. Let me see. Yeah. And again, I think you need a contact page. Okay. So in general, again, beautiful images, but you could be doing so much on your website to really sell the experience. I don't feel when I come on here that I've made a connection with you. I don't feel that you know me as a potential client, that you understand me. I don't necessarily feel like you've stood out to me in any way. I'm not really drawn in. I don't see, like I said, this wasn't a seamless, easy website to get through. It's not like it's overly complicated or hard or confusing, but those call to action buttons, you want to lead and guide your potential clients and your viewers through your website easily and seamlessly. You also want to, give them some social proof with testimonials from past clients. I don't see any of that. So I don't see any credibility from you as a potential client. So those are all huge things that your website is missing that I think would greatly improve, the rate in which people inquire with you, or possibly even book with you. All right, so I want to wrap it up. I really hope that this helped. Again, my goal is always to be super upfront and honest with ideas and useful, tips and all those types of things. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for my online business course, The Business Blueprint for Photographers. If you've been considered joining, I would absolutely love to have you. Those doors close tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And when I do reopen this course, I don't have a date yet, but the price will be going up by $400. So never a better time. This is something we are going to be working on inside of that course. This is an exactly perfect example of things that we're going to do. We are going to completely deconstruct your websites. If you haven't started a business yet, that's totally fine, because you're going to build your website from the ground up, from scratch, knowing everything you need to know about what you need to be doing so you're not wasting your time. And if you already have, if you've been in business for a while, we're going to rip them apart and we're going to make them so much better. And that's literally just one tiny piece of the puzzle that we will be doing during our time together, during my 5-week online course, which does not require you to do any traveling, but you can work with me right from where you are. All right, I hope that you found this helpful today, and thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Get to work on those websites, guys.